Welcome back to Old Painter Man. I am the Old Painter Man. This is Painting with the Old Painter Man. This week we're going to be painting Deadpool. I got this from CA 3D Studios. It was sculpted by Gustavo Herrera. And absolutely fantastic sculpt. I completely love it a lot. We'll be going over some Hozo NeoBlade hacks, magnets, paperclip trick, painting dynamic reds, a easy hamon for a katana, overdoing your model, and yellow, the secret weapon. Start off like normal and just sanding away. 600, 800, then 1,000 on things that I want super smooth. Not a whole lot to clean up. This was, I did use the pre-supports from CA and they were done really, really well. With the NeoBlade, if you haven't used one yet, they're fantastic. But so you just go through and it's just like you'd use a knife, but it vibrates, I guess. Your dogs will hate it, but it cuts off the little nubs real super easy. I found that you can use it almost like a razor and kind of like use a shaving motion, and it works great. You don't want to go fast with it, but it's really, really nice. Yeah, I'm doing it right here. You just kind of shave along and it smooths everything out. And all you just hit a little bit of sandpaper and you're golden. Really cool little tool. They're not paying me to say that. I just really like it. So now I'm cutting out the back, putting in some magnets. And something I learned I can do with this NeoBlade is just carve out holes for magnets. Like in this, I didn't want to have to glue this piece in. I could have just pinned it, but I thought magnetizing it would be easier. So I just hollow this little spot out, and there you go. Magnet fits in there great. I didn't have anything great to grab a hold of this piece with, so I drill a hole, put in a paper clip, glue it in. There you go. Now I can use my little alligator clip to attach to that. And we're on to primering. In retrospect, I should have done a lot of this in purple, like the unicorn, the backpack, and all of Deadpool, but I didn't. I did the whole thing in black. Live and learn.
Package time.
So I was contacted a few weeks ago by a gentleman named David, who watches the videos. Thank you, David. And he wanted to help me get organized. He saw my desk and I think just felt bad for me. So he helped me design this, put me to get that pegboard background from IKEA, and sent me all of this. So I can set this up and it's just gonna look a lot better for everyone. So please go check David out. I'll give you his information a little bit later in the video. But great guy and a really, really good product. I love the way this is organized now. It's fantastic. And now we're on to the unicorn. Again, I should have primed this in purple, but whatever. So I just go over with my medium tone, then a highlight from above, then throw in some purple shadows from below. Now I'm just picking out details. Got the nose, I'll have the eyes, I'll have the little paws and the tummy tum. My thumbnail is not dirty, it's paint, and I was trying to scrub it out and I couldn't, so sorry. So let's pick out the feet with a little bit of purple two-step paint. Same thing with the mane and the tail. There's a lot of fun little details on this. I was referencing the render of this probably a little bit too much. The rendering the unicorn was dirty, it had some wear and tear on it. I really should have just done this simple, just colored in the lines, kept it easy. Instead, I decided to try a whole bunch of fun stuff on it. This is just a little unicorn in the background. Yeah, I had fun doing it, and I'd probably do it again, but it's completely unnecessary. See, I'm going through, painting the horn, just picking out all the little details. And this is where I get ridiculous. So I decided, hey, let's put a texture on the nose. So I go through and stipple all this out and then glaze in pink, and then stipple and glaze and stipple and glaze. And I'm spending probably half hour, 45 minutes on the nose of a unicorn in the background. It's just completely unnecessary. Could have put a couple of quick highlights on there, been done in 5 minutes. I love painting details. I say that in every video. I like probably over detailing my models a little bit, but not when it's completely unnecessary. And this was completely unnecessary. Just curious if any of you ever have times where you perhaps overthink a paint job and put more steps in there than you need. I'd love to hear your horror stories down in the comments below. I probably have about a half-hour footage of me just painting this nose. So put in the eyes, put some highlights along the top. I want to be a little bit lighter than what I had it before. And then I just start detailing out the hair. I didn't really have a dry brush small enough to get in there and do it the easy way, so instead I just go through and just follow the lines of the hair and paint in highlights. To a slightly brighter purple and paint all those little folds and seams. Just to make those stand out a little bit more. So just glazing in a shadow on the bottom of the eye real quick. Get my brush wet just to blend that in a little bit easier. And here's where I get completely ridiculous. In the rendering, it showed that it was a little bit dirty, had some wear and tear. So I started sponging on this wash, completely unnecessary, and I totally overdid it. As you see, I went back in with a lighter color also to just really make this thing look kind of haggard. But I ended up glazing in my highlight and base tone all over the whole thing to knock that back a little bit. So all those little sponge marks weren't sticking out quite so bad, and that added an extra 10 minutes to the job. Same thing with the bomb. I overdid this too. Spoiler alert. So go through, just paint it with basic green, then I highlight it from above. So far, so good. Thorough wash on the whole thing. Doing this just to get a little bit of a variation on there, make it look a little bit aged. And then I decided some sponge chipping. I don't know why I just decided sponges were my theme for the week, but here it is. I should have gone with a slightly lighter color. I should have done much less of it, but I didn't. And here I am, overdoing it. And I go with a lighter color to kind of try to make up for that and just make it worse. But, as I always say, it's just paint. We can paint over it. And here I am. So just a very thin down highlight tone, and I'm just glazing it on there, knocking all that sponge chipping back. You can still see it a little bit, but it isn't nearly as visible. Again, a completely unnecessary step. This I'm mimicking the rendering. Just take a paint pen, put it on there, make it look all messed up. A little bit of metallics on this part, and then its little red nose. The bomb's done. So by now, I've learned my lesson. I should have gone through and put a white zenithal on this instead of just going over the black primer, but it isn't that big of a deal. On this, I decided, okay, let's keep this simple. So I put on my base tone, then I highlight it from above. Throw a little bit of purple on below for my shadows. And for the rest of this thing, I just pretend it's a coloring book. All the details on here are molded in and they're done very, very well. So I just go through color by color and put them on here. And I'm actually happy with how this turned out. The amount of small little fun details on this model are incredible. The sculptor did a fantastic job of really just making this feel like a Deadpool model. I want to welcome everyone who just got a new 3D printer on Prime Day. I was lucky enough that I had a new 3D printer gifted to me. I was able to pick up the Anycubic Mono M7 Max, and that's what the entire base of this model was printed on. So everything on Deadpool was done on my normal Saturn. Everything else was done on the M7 Max. Great printer. I love it so far. And yeah, thanks, Mom. So now we're on to Deadpool. I paint my dark red, then I paint a lighter red, then I paint some orange. Doing all this just from the top, just putting basic shadows, midtones, and highlights. After that orange is down, I go through with a highly reduced red just to knock that orange back to red. And there we go. I let that sit overnight. I wasn't super happy with it, so I came in the next day and painted purple into all my shadows. I was able to get this new spray booth as well, which is great. I'm still getting the camera figured out on it. It's much better in the next video that I've already started shooting. But yeah, I didn't really have the angle correct here, so there's a whole lot of my hand trying to attack your face, and I apologize for that. So after the shadows are done, I go back through with the red, just reestablish my highlights, and I'm happy with it. For all the black on the model, I looked at my rendering and just filled in all the black. Brush was definitely the easiest way to go about this. By the end of this month, my channel should be monetized, which is pretty exciting. I did the math. I'll only need around 350,000 views monthly in order to make minimum wage. Yes, that's the correct math. I did it twice. So that brings me to Patreon. If you haven't checked out my Patreon yet, please do. I'll put the link down in the description, and I want to thank all my patrons that are helping me keep the lights on. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't do it without you. Pick out the eyes real quick. This is the same color that I painted the unicorn with. And using really thin coats on here so it'll be nice and smooth. If your paint's too thick, it'll develop a texture and look kind of wonky. So I don't want to airbrush on highlights. I didn't want to mess with doing this with a brush. So I broke out the overpriced black silly putty and just start airbrushing those on. Just picking out all the final little details. And there's a lot of them. Belt buckle. There's this little black line that separates the two areas of the suit. Went through and painted all that in a satin black. Cleaning up the rest of the details. Putting a few extra highlights in with just my bright red. Just to like the wrinkles in the clothing, the veins, the top of the collarbones, just to really make those stand out. It was reading as a little bit dark, so I wanted to lighten it up some. And I want to send a special message. The one guy that always dislikes my videos, you haven't disliked my RoboCop video yet. You've got all the other ones, but you missed that one. So wherever you are, I hope you're okay. Grenades for his chest. With a katana, I didn't have any of the fancy chrome paint that I see a lot of people have, just an old bottle of Vallejo Model Air Chrome. So I put a couple coats of that over black. Take a black contrast paint and put that in with the chrome and just kind of wiggle my brush around to make a ham-on pattern for the katana. I've seen a lot of people do that and overcomplicate it, and I know overcomplicating when I see it, but that's just a real simple way to do it. I wasn't sure if all these holsters and boleros and everything were supposed to be leather or nylon. It kind of looked more like nylon, and the texture that was on it felt more like nylon, so that's how I painted it. I didn't paint any leather texture on it. For the eyes, I really wanted them to stand out. Deadpool's eyes are normally almost glowing. So I go through with a bright pale yellow. This would be ice yellow and some other brands, and put that on top of the base coat that I had. I found that this color will go on smoother than most white paint will, and somehow looks brighter and more vibrant than a lot of white paints will. So just a little trick. Onto the base. I've already had it painted brown. I'm going through with a slate gray, just hitting the old dry brush. And then I take a green gray, just so I have a little variation of tone. My base is nice and cool now, since I have such a warm model. We're not doing this everywhere, just most of the places. I'm just applying some filters. I take two-step paint, it's highly thinned down, just splash it around where I think it'd be a little bit more shadows, more dirt, more whatever. And then I just blotch it off with a paper towel just to give a little bit of texture and so it doesn't pool. Same thing with a dark blue-black. The only other thing I did do on this was a very thin black oil wash. I did forget to record that, but I did put that on the base as well. Now just all the little signs and knickknacks that are all over the place, painting in these details. I really like to keep a synthetic brush. I use synthetic brushes quite a bit actually, that has the tip of it folded a little bit. Synthetic brushes are known to have the tips bend and fold on them. I use it so that way I can use this side of my brush and I just keep the part that's bent up. And it makes it a little bit easier, a bit less chance of screwing up. Hopefully that made sense. The tire, top of it gray, put a little black wash on it, paper towel it off for texture, and then go through and paint all the casings with a bronze, because I don't have brass. Highlight that with a slightly lighter bronze. And I always seem to paint the rims of my bases with black, so I did this one green. Same green I use on the grenades that are on his chest. There's this little spray can, and it didn't really have anything on it, so I just painted in a little label on it. Again, I'm overdoing it, but this is the last thing I did for this, and I don't know, fun to have a little bit of fun. And here is my glorious paint rack in all of its majesty. Please check out David's store at craftsforpainting.etsy.com or his YouTube at craftsforpainting. He did provide these to me, just want to make that clear, but please check them out. The quality on them is fantastic. David's a great guy, and yeah, you too could be organized like how I am. And here's Deadpool. I definitely spent a little bit more time on some of the little details than necessary, but I'm still happy with how he came out. Got a really cool video coming up next week. I'm super excited. I'm gonna do my first Dragon Ball character that I've done on here, and it's a neat one. It's pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Until next week, get off my lawn.